Everybody, Steve Shermer, the Golf Gambling Podcast here with your one and done picks for the 2024 Cognizant Classic. And before I get into it, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, or if you haven't already, subscribe to our podcast on Apple or Spotify, the Golf Gambling Podcast. We give you free stuff every single week, just like this right here. And, last week I didn't put out a one and done video. I wouldn't have helped you guys. I had Davis Thompson, and he did fine, but that's not really going to get it done. He made a little run, I think, on Saturday and completely pooped down his pants on Sunday to fall down the leaderboard and, offer a disappointing finish. But this week is the Cognizant Classic, a tricky week. It's not a great field, but there's a lot of really attractive names that have burned a lot of people in the past. And this is a golf course at PGA National where car crashes can happen a lot. And sometimes course history doesn't really matter a whole lot here. If a guy is going to bring a C-plus game, there's plenty of water to gobble up his errant approach shots and have him miss the cut. So this is a dangerous week for one and done. It can be highly rewarding, but it can be highly punishing. So, one of the things that I've been hearing about the course this year is it's not quite as difficult as it was in prior years. And that's actually kind of confirmed with some things I've seen. For example, the rough is down. It's only about 2 inches in length. I've been talking about this on the podcast this week. Apparently, the weather conditions have been really difficult in the agronomy. They also removed a couple fairway bunkers on a couple of holes. I think on number 6 is the primary one where they've done it. And that means guys can kind of blast out right and avoid the water altogether. But, at the end of the day, this is still a golf course that has a lot of water and a lot of trouble. It's still going to be a big positional golf course. I don't expect these guys to still hit rip driver everywhere because of the conditions. It's still ones where you got to lay short and play positional golf. But I think what it's going to do is it's really going to amplify and really elevate the guys who are hitting their irons really good. And that's the danger of this golf course. These are really difficult approach shots, primarily on, with the par threes as well, especially with the bear trap. There's a lot of water. And if you miss in the wrong time, you're going to hit in the water, incur a penalty stroke. And, iron play has historically been the way to separate yourself at this field. So the guys I'm really going for this week, I really am just looking for guys who are trending well, their irons coming in, have a good success in Florida. I mentioned this in the podcast that sometimes I get caught too much with the stats, and I take guys who just aren't really good in Florida. It's different down there. The air is different. The grass is different. Some guys just can't handle it, and some guys can. So primarily the guys I'm looking for in one and done my betting card this week are guys who are pretty good in Florida and trying with their irons. So let's get right to it. Number 5, how about Torbjorn Olesen? He has a top 10 at Bay Hill like way long ago. Doesn't play a lot of Florida golf. Obviously, he's mostly a DP World Tour guy. But, he plays a lot of Bermuda in the Middle East, specifically this Tiff Eagle Bermuda grass. Which is the same greens, the grass and the greens is what is PGA National, a place like Abu Dhabi Golf Club and Jumeirah Estates. And he puts pretty well at those places. So I know he can handle the Bermuda. His iron play has been trending really good since all the way back to last summer. And pretty much everything has been good except for off the tee. That's been very wild for him. But at a golf course where you can kind of put the driver in the bag a little bit, it's not quite as penal off the tee as far as missing a fairway as people might think. Here, at least that's what the data says. So maybe that'll help him. The fact that he's really good with his irons and he gets a little break with off the tee. And there's a comp course on the DP World Tour that really, sparks an interest in him this week for one and done and outrights and everything is Lake Golf National. That is a very plotting positional golf course, narrow, lots of water, and he's got a couple top 5 finishes there. He beat Jordan Spieth 5 and 4 at the Ryder Cup at Lake Golf National. So I know he can get it done on this type of golf course with a lot of water. I know he can get it done on Bermuda. His iron play's been pretty good trending in. I like him as kind of a sneaky one and done pick this week. Number 4, Christian Bezainhout. He's my kryptonite, but his iron play has been just pretty much impeccable, going all the way back to Amex when he almost won that tournament. He's gained his last 4 tournaments, including gaining 3 strokes on the field with his irons at Genesis, 6 at Phoenix, 4 at Amex, like I just referenced to earlier. So, listen, the iron play has been really good here. He has a pretty good track record in Florida too. He's on my outright card. Definitely somebody I think people might be a little out on Bezainhout as far as he's burned a lot of guys. He never wins. Well, maybe this is the week he wins. It's been a crazy year for outrights and winners, so maybe he can actually win this one. Number 3, Cam Young. You wouldn't think this is a Cam Young golf course, but he's done pretty well here. He's got a top 15 finish. He also has done pretty well in Florida in general, specifically more at Bay Hill. But, his iron play has been trending. Coming in, other than losing a couple strokes to the field at Pebble Beach, he gained a lot of strokes with his irons at Amex. He gained strokes at Phoenix and the Riviera too. He's had some pretty good finishes I'm sorry, excuse me. He did not gain at Amex. It was actually in the Middle East where he gained 6 strokes. But still, his irons have been really good so far this year coming in. He's got a top 15 finish. I don't think people are going to be on him because of his outright price and just the fact that people don't think maybe this is a Cam Young golfer. I think he's going to be very good this week. So Cam Young, I think, is a very viable one and done pick. Number 2, Daniel Berger, probably a popular option. I think people are thinking about with Will Zalatoris, almost winning a Riviera. Maybe this is a Daniel Berger time for him. But, the pieces have kind of been there for him. Obviously, he's been have to shake off some course rust since the beginning of the year. A lot of it's been seen around the green with the putter. But the ball striking, for the most part, has been pretty good. He hit the ball pretty good at Amex and hit the ball pretty good in Phoenix as well. We haven't really seen a top finish out of Daniel Berger yet, but we'll get him back to PGA National, where he's got a lot of success. He probably shouldn't have won this tournament back in 2022. Lost in a playoff to Padraig Harrington, I think, in 2016 as well. And let's get him back on Bermuda. Let's get him back in his comfort zone, both on the greens and around the greens. Maybe he'll stop thinking. Maybe his natural instincts will take in at that point, and maybe he'll improve a lot in those areas and he'll post a top finish. That's really what's been bothering him, is on and around the green so far. Maybe give him on Bermuda. He'll do a little better. My pick for one and done this week, I feel pretty good at Adam Svensson this week. I really like him. I think I'm not alone on my take about Adam Svensson, but listen, he's got a lot of what you're looking for. Really good between 150 and 200, and been really good with his irons, coming in. It's been a little bit up and down, but, he hit his irons really good at Riviera, hit it really good at Pebble, hit it really good at Sony. With Adam Svensson, the concern is always with the putter, but he's won on a golf course with Tiff Eagle before. He putt really well in the Florida swing last year with Tiff Eagle at Bay Hill and Tiff Eagle Bermuda here. And just between his Florida history, the iron play is trending in, coming off a good finish. I really like Adam Svensson. I don't think people are going to be on. He's going to be very popular in one and done. So, and listen, this is an unpredictable tournament. I don't know if I want to really burn a big name. Why don't we go with a guy that I think has a lot of upside and see what happens? So Adam Svensson is my one and done pick for the 2024 Cognizant Classic. So thank you for listening again. If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. Also subscribe to the Golf Gambling Podcast on Spotify and Apple. And with that, good luck in your one and done contest this week for the Cognizant Classic.